Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This class is applicable for 11 and 12 business studies group students. This class is for accounting first paper. The chapter is financial statement, chapter number 9 from your accounting learning workbook level 1. Dear learners, I repeat again, this lecture is only applicable for 11 and 12 business studies, not for 9 and 10 business studies. This is lecture number 7 for 11 and 12. I think you have followed my previous 6 lectures for this chapter, that is financial statement. But only this lecture is available for 11 and 12 business studies group students. Dear learners, this class is same as the previous one, lecture number 6. Only one requirement is changed for this lecture, the requirement A. From lecture number 6, we can get requirement A, determine the net amount of bank balance or prepare a bank account. But in the lecture number 7, you can see the requirement A is prepare a debt account or determine the amount of net debt. Other requirement is same, requirement B and C. Now you can see the stem and solve this creative question. At first you have to see the trial balance. Cash fund taka 1 lakh. This amount is treated as current assets, machinery. This amount is treated as fixed asset. Uncollectible debt, that is bad debt, is treated as operating expenses. Prepaid rent, this amount is treated as current assets, that is short-term asset. Trade expenses taka 7,000. For this math is only item is as direct expenses. Otherwise it is treated as operating expenses when for not recording the office expenses in business. So at this time office expenses is available, so trade expenses is treated as direct expenses and office expenses treated as operating expenses in this business. Rent for 10 months, that is rent one kind of operating expenses. 10 months paid, that is 2 months due. So 10 months for taka 8,500 and 2 months due, that is taka 1,700. This amount is to be added with the rent amount in operating expenses and due amount to be shown in current liabilities. Wages and salary. Wages and salary, when this amount is started with the wages, then it is treated as direct expenses. But when this amount is started with the salary amount, then this amount is to be treated as operating expenses. In this method, it is treated as direct expenses. Opening stock. Opening stock. This is the first item of cost of goods sold statement. Sundry debtors, the another name of account receivable, book debt and sales ledger account. This amount is treated as short-term asset, that is current assets to be shown in a statement of financial position. Purchase with the bet, this is the new one, this is the fact for this method. Purchase with bet taka 1,15,000. Income tax taka 18,000. Purchase, this is the amount of expenditure for showing cost of goods sold. and you have to show the bet amount in this statement. How to bet charged for this item when included bet or with bet with the amount of purchase and sales, then you can deduct the amount of bet in this way. Total amount of money into 15 by 115. Income tax like as drawings, it is treated as drawings and to be shown in equity statement for the deduction item. Deferred advertisement, this amount is treated as fictitious asset or expense is not yet expired. It is shown in fictitious asset in statement of financial position. Investment, this amount is one kind of asset. It is to be shown in statement of financial position under the long-term investment head. The left side is finished, that is debit side is finished for trial balance, and right side reserve fund or general reserve. This amount is to be shown in statement of equity for adding item with the capital amount. Bad debt reserve, I repeat again, bad debt reserve or bad debt provision or bad debt allowance, this amount is contra expenses. It is deducted from the total amount of bad debt expense in operating expenses. Rent payable, this amount is to be treated as current liability or short-term liability in financial position statement. Sundry creditors, the another name is accounts payable. Suppliers purchase ledger account is treated as current liability or short-term liability. Sales with bet, this is the fact for this creative question. With bet, sales amount 2,07,000, and then you can deduct the amount of bet, total amount into 15 by 115. So you can find out the amount of bet and it is deducted from the total sales amount. Search tax, this is the new one for current liability. It is the current liability. Search tax. Commission in credit side, that is commission received, it is treated as commission revenue, is shown in other expenses. 10% bond, 15% bond, that is debenture, mortgage loan, bank loan, this treated as long-term liability, but available percentage and taking date of bond. So interest on bond to be charged for the rate of 15% for 6 months. This amount is taka 21,000 for interest on bond to be shown in other expenses and current liability. Last item of credit side is capital, taka 2,50,000. This amount is to be shown in equity statement. Total amount of trial balance is taka 10 lakh, both debit and credit side. Dear learners, so you can see the adjustment of this math. The same adjustment is available for the previous one. Number 1, closing stock value taka 55,000 and it includes unused stationery taka 5,000. So at this moment net amount of closing stock taka 55,000 minus 5,000 is equal to 50,000. For solving the cost of goods sold, this is the deduction item of cost of goods sold. You can take it for finding out the cost of goods sold taka 50,000 and taka 50,000 to be shown in statement of financial position as current assets. Total of bad debt taka 5,000, that is the amount of bad debt available in trial balance 3,500, but total bad debt 5,000. So new bad debt to be reserved taka 1,500 and bad debt reserve increased by taka 1,500. You can see in the trial balance bad debt reserve in credit side taka 4,000, Now it is increased by taka 1500. So new bad debt reserve would be 4000 plus 1500 is equal to 5500. Dear learners, I think you have followed my previous lecture or lesson. All adjustment and all topics of all accounts of trial balance are discussed. Today I will also discussing for your betterment. First two adjustment is available is same as the previous one. This is the lection number 6, but third one is changed. Interest on investment accrued taka 6000. For this adjustment, two postings are available. At first you have to write in interest on investment as other incomes in statement of comprehensive income, and also to be shown in current assets under the statement of financial position. 1/4 of the deferred advertisement to be written off. Deferred advertisement, this is the item is one kind of a fictitious asset, but 1/4 amount of this amount to be deferred to be written off. So written off amount is written in operating expenses under the statement of comprehensive income, and written up amount is to be deducted from the total amount of deferred advertisement in fictitious asset under the statement of financial position. The last adjustment is stolen from the cash box taka 12,000, which unrecorded cash is stolen from the cash box. So it is the negative one for adjustment. Cash is stolen, it is one kind of loss or accidental loss. It is to be shown in other expenses in statement of comprehensive income, and also to be shown in current assets for deducting item of cash in statement of financial position. Dear learners, from the above trial balance and adjustment, you have to complete the three following requirements. Requirement A, determine the net amount of bet. This is the new one, but it is very important for you, only for class 11 and 12 business studies students. Dear students, you have to follow this lecture for determining net amount of bet or preparing a bet current account. Requirement B, same as the lecture number 6, and requirement C, same as the lecture number 6. Dear learners, so you can see in the next slide for the net amount of bet determining. So requirement A, the net amount of bet is determined below using bet current account, that is laser moving balance method. Totally 7 columns is available under the modern or moving balance format. Date, account title, laser folio, debit taka, credit taka, balance taka, debit and credit. In this math, bet current account is available in the question, that is amount of taka 4500. Dear learners, bet current amount is given with balance of taka 4500, and purchase bet, that this amount is taken from the purchase amount 15,000 to be debited in this transaction. Now balance of bet current account 19,500. Another posting is available for bet current account sales from net sales taka 27,000 is credited in bet current account, and to be deducted 19,500 minus 27,000 is equal to taka 7,500 is credited for this credit question. At this moment 7,500 is credited for bet current. It is indicated as current liability. Dear learners, I repeat again, balance BET is taken for betterment. How to show it? Balance BET is taken from requirement as given, assuming taka 4,500, but purchase and sales amount taken from purchase and sales amount. Now you can go for solving or writing requirement B. The amount of gross profit or loss is determined below a statement of comprehensive income, that is partial. Inventory, that is particulars, first column. Then account taka detail, last one amount taka total. You know, when you're starting the comprehensive income statement, the first item will be sales. In question, sales is given, sales with that taka 2,07,000 less that 15 by 115 of 2,07,000, that is the amount of taka 27,000 of that, so it is deducted from the total sales amount. Now we can get taka 2 lakh for net sales, less cost of goods sold. Opening stock is written from trial balance in middle column 35,000, add net purchase, that is the amount of taka with that taka 1,15,000. Now that amount is to be deducted from the total purchase. This is why for deducting 15 by 115 of 1,15,000, that is taka bet 15,000. 1,15,000 minus 15,000, that is the amount of net purchase is taka 1 lakh, is written in middle column. Direct expenses, trade expenses taka 7,000 is written in middle column. Wages and salary taka 15,500 is written in middle column. At this moment total of debit item is 1,57,500 total adding item, less closing stock taka 50,000 from adjustment. Net closing stock, that is the net amount, you know, in adjustment closing stock value taka 55,000 and it includes taka 5,000 for unused stationery, so net amount of closing stock taka 50,000 is deducted from the amount of total cost of goods sold. Now we can get taka 107,500, this amount is treated as cost of goods sold. Now for finding out the gross profit or loss, we can deduct the amount of cost of goods sold from the net sales. Now we can get taka gross profit 92,500. Dear learners, I think you have written in your accounting practice copy for your betterment, for your practicing, for understanding, for learning the statement, that is financial statement. Okay, now we can go for requirement C. The amount of net profit is determined below using a statement of comprehensive income, that is partial. Dear learners, you have to know when gross profit is completed, then you can take it from previous requirement from B, that is 92,500 is written in outer column. Then you can deduct the amount of operating expenses. The first item is uncollectible debt expense. In bracket, you can write it 5,000, that is total bad debt 5,000 plus new bad debt reserve, that is taka 5,500 minus 4,000, that is all bad debt provision or bad debt allowance in trial balance. So that net amount of bad debt expense 6,500 is written in middle column. And now office expense taka 22,000. In this math, no stationery is available, so unused stationery is to be deducted from the amount of office expenses in operating. So net amount of office expenses in this math taka 17,000. Rent taka 8,500 in trial balance, but one information is given 2 months or 10 months paid, that is 2 months due. So 2 months due for taka 1,700 to be added with the amount of 8,500. So at this moment total amount of rent 10,200. Another item for operating advertisement written up, that is 1/4 of deferred advertisement to be written up. So this amount of 1/4 is written in operating expenses 8,000. Total amount of operating expenses Taka 41700. So dear learners, at this moment operating profit is Taka 50,800. How to solve it? For 79, 92,500 minus 41,700. That is Taka operating profit 50,800. And now add other incomes. From the trial balance we can get it. Commission receipt is credit side Taka 3,000. Another item, interest on investment from adjustment is accrued Taka 6,000 is written in other income. So total other income is to be written in outer column 9,000. Now total amount of profit 59,800. Now we can deduct the amount of other expenses from this total amount. Other expenses available, interest on bond from trial balance 2,80,000 into 15% into 6/12 for dating 1/7/19, that is 6 months used for these bonds. So integers for 6 months, that is Taka 21,000. Another item for adjustment, cash stolen from the cash box, that is the amount of accidental loss is written in other expenses. So cash stolen or sundry loss is written in middle column Taka 12,000. At this moment total other expenses Taka 33,000 is written in outer column. Now we can get the amount of net profit is Taka 26,800. Dear learners, I think you have written in all topics or all items or all accounts of all requirements. In all financial statements, math are very essential and very compulsory, very important for your exam, that is final exam, including all types of exam, that is internal exams. Okay, dear students, thank you so much for writing, for understanding, for listening my speech. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.